Here we go. Hello and happy Friday. Coming at you live here at Inside Production Studios in Phoenix, Arizona. My name is Robert Morales from Our CEO Network. Our CEO Network, good people, better business, discovering the best of you. For the next hour, we're going to be talking to a very special guest of ours about his life, about his business, and about this insurance stuff. And towards the last segment of the show, we're going to be having a live question and answer session. So if you have any questions during the broadcast, just kind of type them in on the news feed and then ask us as we go, and we'll answer as we go. If you're watching us live, give us a little heart emoji because we love the loves. And if you're watching us on the replay, give us the wow emoji because, wow, I can't believe you're not watching us live. Find us here at OurCEONetwork.com. Follow us on Our CEO Network on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, all those wonderful sites. So with that said, he runs a multi-state business with 3 broker agencies under his office. He has worked for American National Insurance Company, former district manager for Anaco National Insurance. He is a senior marketing director for PHP Incorporated. Please welcome El Señor Victor Zaldo.
Hey, thank you very much, Robert. How are you? How are you guys?
Oh, pretty good. Yeah, I'm waiting for the audience to stop cheering. It's my fake audience.
Okay.
They get a little ornery out there. So how you doing, Senor?
I'm doing perfect. Actually, pretty excited to be here today with our CEO Network and ready to share a little bit about my story and, of course, being able to help our community with throughout this wonderful platform.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. We are an organization that kind of helps and talks about people's lives. And, you have kind of an interesting backstory. I was reading a little bit about what you shared and you're one of the ones that made it, in the entrepreneur endeavor, that we all face as small business owners. We're faced with many challenges and we all come from different walks of life and there's different motivations. And, from what I was reading, sounds like you came from Mexico City.
Correct. I'm originally from Mexico City, born and raised there. At the age of 34, 35, I moved to Monterrey, Mexico. And that's where the journey of the financial services started with American National Insurance Company, actually having a branch in Mexico in 2004.
Well, and then so you went to Monterrey and then you eventually came to America, right?
Correct. So it was very funny. Actually, like I said, the way I started in the financial services, it was just random. I've always been in the entrepreneur side, always been independent, but that change of residency gave me the opportunity to get to know different jobs or careers, if you may say so. I don't like to call it a job. It's actually a career. And I got the opportunity to enroll with American National in November 2nd, 2004. Funny fact, November 2nd is the date of the death in Mexico, and I'm dealing with life insurance. So it's funny the way I always like to express it. But yes, in 2009, to be precise, on March 16th of 2009, I was invited to come to the United States. Yeah. And ran the state of Arizona for American National Insurance Company, which is one of the oldest companies in America. It's been established since 1905.
That's awesome. And then how old were you when you came to the United States?
I'm 51 years old right now, so I was 40 years old when I came to the U.S.
So, and besides, some of the accolades, I mean, that goes to show you that even later, maybe midlife, because I'm 42, or say I should say 40 as well. I don't want to overdate myself, but that goes to show people out there that it really doesn't matter how old you are, you can still be successful. Because I'm guessing, coming to the United States, it wasn't necessarily easy, correct? I mean, you kind of had your establishment in Mexico, but it's not like they all come with you, correct?
Correct. Well, when just gonna share a little bit more about my background. So I always been in the sales part. Like I mentioned, I was always independent. I actually ran a business with my mom for almost 20 years,
Yeah.
selling auto parts and wholesale, and that gave me the opportunity to travel across the country. Since I was a teenager, I was working with her, and it was funny because I was like overwhelmed throughout my summer vacations. I was always traveling and meeting new people everywhere in the country, and I never thought that 20 some years later, those experiences that I hated at the time, it was actually going to give me the ice breaking with the insurance business that I'm running right now, in the industry where I'm right now, being from Mexico. So
Yeah.
to answer your question a little bit better, yes, my story as an immigrant, it's completely different. I'm not gonna say that I'm the only one, but when I came to the U.S., I was already receiving a salary of almost $100,000 a year. So who as an immigrant is not gonna come to the U.S. to land an opportunity when you're already offered a salary like that, which only 10% of the people in America earn $100,000 a year.
Yeah, that's amazing. And you sold auto parts to your mom? I mean,
With my mom, that we used to go knocking on doors on like AutoZone dealerships in Mexico. Of course, they're not called AutoZone over there, but
yeah.
we used to go out there and sell auto parts.
Autoson? Is that?
Yeah, AutoZone.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a coconut man, so I try to connect and speak the language, but it's a challenge for me. So I try though. I told Gabby that I try. So that, I mean, that's really cool. And so, as I was kind of exploring that, I always kind of like go through people's Facebooks and kind of see what their life is about. Cause people tend to kind of portray what their interests are on Facebook. And I did see a lot of traveling, but most importantly about family, what else? Saying you have two daughters and a son and obviously married.
I actually have, yes, I have four kids,
Oh, wow.
twins, a boy and a girl who are 29 years old. I got a daughter who's 19 and my son, my youngest, who's 17 years old. And I do have a grandchild who's about to turn 11 years old this year.
Oh boy. Yeah. And they're kind of all over the world, right? I mean, I think I saw your son lives in Rome, Italy. One of your daughters still lives in Mexico, and then one in Tucson. I mean, it's pretty spread out all over the
Yeah,
place.
well, my two kids, my older ones, they live in Mexico City.
Yeah.
My little ones, they live in Tucson. And yes, they have inherited our spirit to travel. We have always been, I don't know, like I mentioned, since I was a teenager, I used to travel because I had to.
Yeah.
But now that we have the pleasure to be able to travel around the world, and through the career that I experienced with the financial services, you actually have the opportunity to earn those trips, those vacations paid by the companies.
Yeah.
And so when you get those opportunities, you always want to bring the family along, because they're the ones who sacrifice that time, that quantity, to bring a quality of life for your family. And my wife and I, who's always been side by side with me, that's like her on her bucket list. Every single year she tries to have at least two or three different destinations. But yes, that picture that you saw with my son in Italy, they actually took my mom last year.
Yeah.
Italy. Yes.
So it's kind of cool because your wife's so much your business partner as what I was estimating, and she's in the same industry, right?
She is, yeah. It's funny because throughout 13 years of me being an employee of a corporate America with American National, she has nothing to do with the business. Of course, when you're an employee, you cannot have your better half or your spouse within the company, especially when you're running a manager position.
Yeah.
But in 2018, this January 1st, 2018, when we decided to start running our own agency through the PHP Agency, That's when she came on board. And I gotta tell you that a lot of things, my training, my entrepreneurship mentality has been fed by all the training that she actually provides to myself and the team. I have the experience in sales. I got the experience on the top,
Yeah.
but the leadership development and the entrepreneurial side of our business has been brought by my wife, who actually now it's licensed. She became licensed last year. With She speaks English, not that much, but I'm very proud of her because a lot of people think that, oh, I'm not going to make it in this industry because I don't speak the language. And zero to that, she went from zero to hero, getting herself licensed. And funny fact, now we got agents in the agency who are actually born and raised in the U.S. English is their only language, and they're asking her for help to pass the test.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting. But yes, I'm very blessed to have her on my side.
And that's kind of the thing with anything entrepreneurial or anything small business related, is the challenges that we face. And it's kind of nice she'd be called a partner in crime, so she's your partner in crime essentially. What has been one of the bigger challenges you've overcome in order to get to this place in your career, in your life?
To tell you the truth, I believe that it was difficult to make the decision when you gotta understand, we live in America, the land of opportunity, the land of freedom. And just like I mentioned, coming from Mexico to the U.S., making good money, when the opportunity of becoming entrepreneur again, uh, it was like a big challenge because I was 48 at the time. Right now, 51 years old. I was 48 years old. We were making pretty decent income, around 150 to 160,000 dollars a year. Like all employees, all the benefits paid, life, health insurance, vacations, you name it, 401k. And but when I saw the opportunity of becoming an entrepreneur on the same industry that I am, but with a platform that allows me not only to sell in the state of Arizona, but in the entire country of Puerto Rico. And on top of that, being able of not being a manager, but outside of that, become a business partner, not only with my wife, just like you mentioned, as my partner in crime, but also to be able to provide an opportunity of education, financial freedom to the people that I get to know. It's completely different.
Yeah.
I was used to be the sales rep or the manager, who my only connection between me and the client, it was just that, the client.
Yeah.
Right now, through our agency, we're able to provide not only education, but like I said, we're able to provide an opportunity for people who have a low income, medium income, or even people who make good money to start their own career as a secondary income. And sooner or later, you can make real good income. And for my wife and I, it only took us 16 months to go back to where we were, and a little bit more.
No, that's awesome. And I think, we did place a part of that, talking about, insurance and being an agent. But, as we come to our first break, I do have to mention our sponsors.
Yeah.
So let me put that slide up. So our CEO network, thank you to DSODIA Digital Social Media Management, Gabby Chaidez, the CEO of DSODIA. She has been an integral part in sponsoring the CEO network in social media management and some of our posts. Great American Title, been a long-term sponsor of ours. Insight Productions, thank you for the audio video quality of today's video. And Ms. Violet in the background helping us come along. Workuity is our home away from home. Workuity, Dan Kite, owner of Workuity, is offering discount services and special rates for shared office spaces. So if you want to, as you're coming back into the workforce, because we're faced with this whole coronavirus thing, if you're coming back into the workforce, contact us through instant message or DM us for information regarding reduced rates on shared office spaces. Hello, senor. Yeah, there we go. We're back. Yeah, that's a simple one. So, you know, we talked a little bit about what you're involved in, and we're here to really talk about insurance. And so, life insurance is really what the target is, as far as what we're talking about today. Can you tell us what life insurance is and what it does for people?
Okay, so first of all, thank you again for the opportunity, and going back to the selling portion and the interaction with your client, where right now I'm just going over education. So um, the number one thing that our number one priority, of course, is to educate people about insurance. About not, I'm not talking about just going out there and like any regular agent to try to sell life insurance. For us, the education of life insurance, we separate in three different parts, which is number one is how much does the individual or the family needs. Number two is how long do they need the life insurance for, because there's different type of life insurance involved. So, and number three is how much can they afford, because there's no better life insurance than the one that you can pay, right? That you can afford. So when we're talking about life insurance, it's sad that living in the greatest country in the world, we notice that for every white person who carries life insurance, there's four Hispanics that they don't carry life insurance, and that has to do a lot of with our culture. And yes, I am one of the our agency, and especially my office, we're focusing a lot on helping the Hispanic community, because people think, and not only Hispanics, but the majority of people think that life insurance is just that final expense policy, that burial expense, and
Yeah.
life insurance has evolved far and beyond that. Right now, when you purchase life insurance, the list of your worries is if I die, because you know you're already covered. The most important thing about the life insurance is life insurance can actually help you with the companies that we represent, which is more than 20 companies, is that you can actually have living benefits. So you don't have to die in order to get proceeds of your life insurance.
Yeah, that was actually one of my questions that I had was, you know, how do we benefit from having life insurance while we're alive and not just, I guess it's kind of a hard topic to talk about regarding, you know, death and that's kind of like your death policy in a way. So,
Mhm.
you know, how can we use things to benefit us while we're alive, our life insurance?
Well, there's two options. There's, like I said, there's several different type of life insurance, but we can always go back to just term insurance, which is renting life insurance for the time need, and whole life insurance, which is going to be for the rest of your life, right?
Correct.
So when we're talking about those living benefits, of course, it's not about I have a stomach ache or something like that. Just we want to make certain that people understand that life insurance can benefit you if you were to have a terminal illness, a chronic illness, or critical illness. So that means that if unfortunately you are diagnosed that you are going to die within 2 years of the first diagnosis, you can actually access to almost 90% of the proceeds of your life insurance while you're still alive. So you can take care of your medical bills, dedicate the time of whatever you have, whatever time you have left in life. I'm sorry to say like that. At least enjoy those proceeds with your family and manage your money the way you want, right? On the other side, with the critical illness or chronic illness, it means that you cannot perform two of your daily activities, which is the primary activities as bathing, clothing, toileting, transporting yourself. So and there's two more, but with two of them that you cannot perform, you can actually have a monthly payment to yourself, because you're not going to be able to probably work anymore, and or get as well a lump sum of your proceeds. So those are the living benefits regarding your life and health, okay? But on the other side, there's other products that people are not aware. People think that only wealthy people can access those products. And we're talking about policies like Index Universal Life, where you're actually funding your life insurance, your living benefits as well. But down the road, you're going to have a pretty substantial cash accumulation on your policy that actually performs with the market as well, where you can get your cap up to certain percentage a year of interest, and that money keeps growing on a compound effect. That your policy will actually can go far and beyond what your initial face value was at the beginning, depending on the age of the proposed insurer, and you can have some good money for retirement if you wanna utilize those cash values on the road.
And you're talking about a whole life insurance situation. If somebody purchases whole life and a certain that certain product, or you
Yes,
said universal.
correct. It's we can talk about whole life insurance, but it's if we go more technical, a universal life policy is not a whole life insurance, if you want to say so. It's kind of like a hybrid between term and whole life.
Well, and I did get on the website, the PHP website, and I did see something called indexing life insurance.
Correct.
I guess I never heard of that term before. Or you know what it is, but I didn't know if you can explain that a little bit too.
Yeah, so the index policies, what they do is that the majority of the companies that we represent through the PHP agency and our agency here in Phoenix is that they perform through the SP 500. So a lot of people are used to hear about the stock market. We always talk about the Dow Jones, right? Where
Yeah.
people invest their money and they can win big or they can lose big, just like it happened a couple of months ago. But the insurance companies, the majority of the time, they invest their money on the SP 500, which is the top 500 companies in America. So those companies, yes, they can win big, but they're not going to risk their money that much. So since you're protecting your life, of course, through the death benefit, you're actually protecting your money if you're investing in. I'm not going to say investing because it's not the proper word regarding life insurance, but if you're overfunding your premium, that's the correct word. If you're overfunding your premium, you have a floor where your money is not going to lose even if the market crashes, okay? And if the market goes up through the index benefit, your money is going to increase. And of course, it's not going to be a sky high like if the market goes up 50% or 60%, which hasn't happened before. But let's per se, if you go 20%, some of our companies will cap you up to 11% or 12% of interest gain, and those gains will be added to your cash value. I don't know if it makes sense. So it's like compound interest. Is you're getting paid interest on your cash value.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm fairly versed, but I have some familiarity with indexing, and I just didn't know how it applied to life insurance. But I guess we can speak in generalities, and as people have more specific questions, they can contact you. I did put Victor's phone number on the site there, or on the link, so if you have any questions, you can contact you directly. But I guess, and it's really different for different people, right? Each scenario. And so I guess generally speaking, if you're 20, if you're somebody in your early 20s, is there a certain product that you would kind of steer them more, like if it was a whole life or an indexing, versus somebody in their 30s and 40s and that kind of thing? Is there a certain product that you would recommend for somebody in their 20s today?
Well,
or
it's
kind of gear them towards?
like I mentioned to you, Robert, at the beginning. That's a great question because a lot of people ask that. It's like, how much will it cost me, or what's the best product? Like we cannot advise someone like this is the best product, because remember, how much do you need for how long, and how much can you afford, right?
Yeah.
So since what I like about life insurance is that life insurance is not mandatory. So I cannot force someone who's 20 or 30 or 40 to buy the same product. Okay.
Yeah.
Number one, because life insurance is based on age, so that's how premiums are based. Okay, and of course, health and other issues are part of the underwriting decision of the life insurance policy. But once you identify what are the needs, and when I'm talking about for how long, maybe a 20-year-old, let's talk about a 25-year-old couple. They just have a brand new baby. They bought their first house. They're looking forward to protect all their assets and their lives. Maybe a term policy would be the best. Why? Because they're gonna get the more value of coverage for the lesser premium.
Yeah.
Okay, but maybe this couple are looking as well for trying to save some money for the future, and could potentially be the index universal life policy a great product for them if they can afford to fund the policy properly. Okay, so that's where we ran the financial analysis at the beginning of our conversation. We call it KTP, which stands for kitchen table presentation. So
Yeah.
we go out there, we talk to our family members, we explain to them how insurance works, and that's how we fall into what could be better for them.
Yeah, and as it's my understanding too, reading from the website that PHP acts as more like a broker. They set you up with other companies that actually underwrite the policies. Is that accurate to say? Is that
Correct, correct.
oh,
The PHP agency is not an insurance company. It's a broker. It's an FMO, financial marketing organization, and we represent over 20 different insurance companies. So, in the perspective of a sales guy, when you go out there and you talk to a family, well, you have the opportunity to write business for people who are 14 days old up to the age of 85. So there's a big range of opportunity. Also, depending on the health premium that they can afford, since you have a variety of companies, you're always going to have the opportunity to help someone. Okay,
yeah, yeah,
so yeah, we're a broker agency, and that's one of the things that I like because I was representing one of the greatest insurance companies that exist, but actually American National is part of the PHP agency as well. So that's one of the things that make me realize, okay, I'm making the right decision, because if my CEO, my senior vice president, the people that I know for 13 years saw the PHP agency as an opportunity, okay, I guess I have to move forward and be able to get into the new platform of how insurance is working in these days.
yeah. And again, generally speaking, and I know each situation's very personal and very specific. I guess, in your opinion, is it better to get whole life insurance versus term? And the only reason I ask that is because I bought term about a year ago.
Okay, and I'm sorry to be repetitive on that side. Like
Yeah,
I said, it all depends on your needs. Myself, I have tons of hundreds of thousands of dollars in term insurance. I believe in term insurance because I believe that it's gonna satisfy my needs right now
yeah,
on term basis. Okay, but I'm a true believer that the only two sure things that we have in life is that we're gonna die, and that we need to pay taxes, right?
yeah,
So for families that they cannot afford to save money, no matter how much you tell them or teach them or educate them to save money, whole life could be an option where you're going to have life insurance forever, and it's not going to end. The Hispanic community they're not that much into term because they always want something in return. So
yeah.
what if I don't die within 20 years? Well, you're not going to die in 20 years, but you're going to die sooner or later. So that's where our education comes on. Okay, your needs aren't this big, so why don't we do like a small combo where you have a whole bunch of term insurance and a backup plan for the rest of your life, which is a whole life insurance. So myself, and not only myself, but my family, we do have term insurance, big lump sums of term insurance, but we do have a backup of index universal life policies. Even with my mom, who's 73 years old, she's got a universal life policy. So when
Yeah.
I sit down with people who are 60, 65 and above, and they say, what will be the best product, and I show them what my mom has, it's like, I'm not gonna sell you something that I don't have for my mom nor for my family. So that's where you bring that trust and credibility to the prospect that you're talking to.
Yeah, and before we get into the next segment, because we're coming up to that too, the whole coronavirus thing, it's been the topic of conversation basically anywhere and everywhere you go, and you see it in your face when people are wearing gloves and face masks. Has there been an uptick, or would I be responsible in getting life insurance for myself? Kind of with this coronavirus thing, and are people getting underwritten with this coronavirus if they're generally healthy and they don't anticipate getting the virus, or they're impacted by it some way? How is it? I guess how is it impacting the insurance industry right now?
Well, actually, I'm going to tell you one thing that the insurance industry, it's a recession-proof industry. We have overcome the 9/11, 2008, and 2020. Right now, it's I'm not gonna lie to you, but I have received emails and phone calls from many insurance companies requesting for help for my agents and myself to help them to write business because the coronavirus has created awareness that we need to be protected. You never know how it's gonna hit you, and people are understanding that life insurance is important. Okay. And also, of course, with we promote the annuities, which the way I call it is insurance on your money. Okay,
Yeah.
so people who lost money on their 401ks, we're transferring that money into annuities so they can have secure money, and their money is always going to grow. It's not going to be a variable product. But asking more into detail your question, yes, people are being underwritten the same way as uh, pre-coronavirus, post-coronavirus. People are always going to be underwritten the same way. Actually, some of the companies that we represent added to the terminal illness. If you were to develop COVID-19 and you were already insured and you're terminal ill, the COVID-19 will be also a payable benefit while you're still alive if you were to be diagnosed terminal.
Yeah, and you did mention that a lot of agencies are calling your brokers, and there are a number of brokers that you have in a couple offices. And since it's the half-hour mark, we're gonna take a small break and talk about one of our sponsors, and then we'll get into your brokerage and some of your agents and what it's like to be a PHP agent. So
Definitely, looking forward.
hold on one second.
I'm a perfectionist that understands that there's no such thing as perfection. I was, as an entrepreneur, sitting alone in an office. I was the owner, the managing partner, but who do I talk to? How do I find out that other people are really in the same boat? Let me create what I wanted because that's what others are apparently going to want to. When you're doing business, it has to have a purpose. One of those purposes has to be fulfillment. How is what I'm doing affecting people? Here we are, a networking group where everybody wants to get together. It's why we network. We want to learn more. We want to make connections. Hi, my name's Dan Kite, and I'm the CEO of Workuity. And this is our CEO Network.
Thank you, Mr. Dan Kite. Dan Kite again, Workuity offering shared office space services for all your small business needs. If you have any questions or want to inquire about shared office space, go ahead and DM us here at our CEO Network. And we're back with Mr. Victor Zaldo, right?
Yes,
you are a marketing director for PHP Agency, and it's been that way for a couple of years now. You have a couple offices, right?
correct.
So talk to us about a little bit about your brokerage. I mean, you came from Mexico, started off, you had an insurance kind of background and found PHP, and where do we go from there?
Okay, so yes, like I mentioned, it was not a tough decision. I actually probably took me like 5 minutes to make the decision to jump from making that good money, all those benefits, and getting into the PHP agency. And the reason why I saw PHP as an opportunity is because my mentors, Lou and Rhonda Pimber in Tucson, they're an amazing couple as well. They're zero experience in the industry. They were running a probably 2 or 3 times bigger operation than I was doing, being the district manager for the insurance company in the entire state of Arizona. So I thought like, okay, so if people with zero experience are running a major operation and me representing one of the biggest companies in America, I'm just running a small operation in the state of Arizona, there's something wrong. And that something wrong for me, it was corporate America, because I needed to meet quotas. We had all marketing strategies. You only get promoted through politics. And with the agency, what I saw is that there's 3 major rules that we talk about is you got to be coachable, you got to be aligned, and you got to move fast. So when I saw PHP as an opportunity, when we talked to someone, we always talk to people about PHP can be. You can take a look at PHP as three different ways: as a client, potential client. Number two, as a referral source, or as a business owner. Okay, so definitely me working for a different insurance company, it was a conflict of interest, so I needed to resign for my previous job and get into the agency. What it made me saw this as a great opportunity is number one, who is behind PHP? Our amazing CEO, Patrick Bet-David, who only
I've seen him, yeah.
yeah, he's got over 2 million followers in YouTube. He runs the number one channel of entrepreneurship, which is called Valuetainment. And I had the opportunity to talk to this guy and the vision that he's got and how PHP started with only 60 agents back in 2009. And right now we're running an operation over 15,000 agents in the country, over 130 offices, not just in America, but in Puerto Rico as well. I saw, okay, I'm 48. I don't have that much time. I don't want to be working the next 20 years of my life for someone. Rather than that, I want to partner with my wife, run our own operation, being able to help people in different states. Now our office is running operations in Oregon, California, Florida, Arizona, Texas, and Colorado.
And these are offices you manage, or is it through PHP?
No, we have independent agents in different states. Some of them are being helped and being trained by local offices, the same way that we've been helping. PHP stands for people helping people.
I was actually wondering that. I tried to look it up, but I couldn't find it.
Yeah, PHP stands for people helping people. So let's per se that Robert is in Oakland, California, and one of his friends is looking for an opportunity, and he lives in the Phoenix area. Well, Robert is gonna try to identify who's the local leader, who's performing better in Phoenix, in this example, and they will contact us, and we'll be training their agents for them. The way the PHP works is that yes, we work as the same way as the NBA, NFL. We recruit people. We're an agency who recruits people. Because we want to give the opportunity to people to have a better education, a better income. Our industry requires, of course, to be licensed in the state. And I'm going to tell you one thing. Right now, we're blessed because Arizona is one of the few states that actually has the temporary license agreement where you don't have to pass your test to be licensed. And the agency is giving you, through one of our major carriers, is giving us the opportunity to be out there and helping more people and satisfy their needs financially and life insurance.
So in Arizona, you don't have to have a license to broker, I guess, insurance?
No, you do have to have a license to sell life insurance. But right now, the state, because their doors are closed, and there's a lot of need to help people on the insurance side, you can actually get your temporary license without testing right now. Once the state reopens, you're going to have to test and pass your license. Otherwise, your temporary license will be revoked. Okay, but right now, through the agency, you have that opportunity to start your business as well.
So as far as like wanting to start, so obviously with this coronavirus thing, people are exploring different career options. And like I said, last week's interview, we had people wanting to inquire about real estate agent. And as people are going through their crisis and maybe losing their job or be in a state of like, I don't know what to do as a career, and they see life insurance as a possibility, what are some of the steps they need to do to get to be a life insurance person and make a six-figure income like you're reporting?
Well, it's the process and to answer some of the questions is that yes, you do have to have an exam to test. Okay, of course, you gotta. There's the state of Arizona has different locations. The Department of Insurance has different locations for you guys for the people to test. You will need to have to score a minimum of 70% to pass your test. Of course, there's a background checkup. Of course, there's felonies and DUIs or certain background issues might not allow you to get your license through the state. And of course, the companies are not going to approve you have those felonies. But regarding how do you how do you answer that question is very simple, Robert. I'm a college dropout, okay, and I see a lot of people, a lot of our kids, even my kids, they're going to college. They have a dream to fulfill with go to college for 4 or 5 years, spend hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not quite a few dollars into, and then get out of the job. They don't have an opportunity. There's nothing wrong about working at McDonald's or working at Uber, but really, you went to college for 4 years, you spend money, and technically you wasted a couple of years of your life. Of the experience of being in college is nothing wrong about it, but with the through the financial services, especially in the industry of the life insurance industry, you actually have a career. People underestimate this opportunity. I can tell you, there's only 300,000 licenses in the country, licenses operating like active license agents in the country, servicing 320 million people. So if you can see the opportunity, and that's what PHP saw, it's like, come on, the average agent in the industry is 59-year-old white male. The average agent in PHP is 33-year-old Hispanic female. Not even guys. I'm not 33 years old. I'm not a female. I'm a guy, 51 years old. But that's what I saw, the opportunity, because we're educating every single generation, Generation Z, millennials, Generation X, and baby boomers, to understand the importance of having life insurance and be protected.
Yeah, and generally speaking, too, what I guess your perspective, what is PHP's philosophy? What are they going for to help people? You know, people helping people is really the name of the agency, but you know, what is their general philosophy on their business and life insurance, and why are they doing what they're doing, and I guess why did it call to you?
Okay, well, they didn't call me. I actually was recruited. I was recruited by a 20-year-old boy.
Oh,
I was servicing their family on through American National. I was servicing their family. They had some questions. The boy, his name is Fernie. He grabbed my business card. My business card ended up with his marketing director, and his marketing director gave me a call, set up an appointment. They showed me what PHP was all about. Like I said, it took me 5 minutes to make the decision. They were not pretty sure if I was going to be jumping into PHP or not, and I had the opportunity to talk to Patrick Bet-David himself, and that's what it kind of locked me into the agency. But what PHP, our philosophy is to not, well, right now we're the fastest growing financial service company in America, but we were not here to be the fastest growing. We are here to become the #1 agency in the country. Okay, there's a lot of FMOs out there. They're been here for years, and PHP only 10 years. It's technically kicking some tail out there because we're out recruiting, we're out strategizing, we're outperforming every single company out there. And the insurance companies they have their eyes into PHP for us to represent them because of the power we're having. We're growing at a rate of 60 to 70% every single quarter in licensing and people being protected.
So as we get to the last segment of our show today, if people have any questions or they want to inquire further about PHP, their services, and being a life insurance agent, what's the best way to do that? Do they do that through you?
Yeah, well, it's like I mentioned, we have 3 offices here in Phoenix and 1 in Tucson. The best way to contact us is, it could be, you mentioned, you put it under the link, my phone number, which is 956-483-5318. They can definitely get into the PHP website, which is the phpagency.com. They'll see a lot of the stories that we have, who we are, and once you're looking for an opportunity, if you live here in Phoenix, right now, thank God and thanks for our team, we're the #1 agent. We're the #1 office in Arizona. It only took us 2 years to take over, and we're looking for people. The PHP philosophy is to bring back life to the life insurance industry. It's the life insurance industry. It was like depleting. It was like people were not paying attention to it, and PHP has made it cool to become an insurance agent.
So I guess real quick before we go into the last segment, best thing that has ever come your way becoming a life insurance agent and taking this on as a career? What's the best thing that's happened to you?
The best thing that has happened to me, it's personally speaking, it's of course, the opportunity right now through the agency to have residual income, to be able to run my own business and being able to help more people. But on the industry side, to be able to provide shelter, food, clothing, education for people that I have helped, and unfortunately, parents have passed away. I always talk to people about when I'm at the other table doing the table presentation, their kids don't know who I am, so we're like the unknown heroes. That sooner or later they'll find out that the guy that was there
Yeah.
was actually the guy who helped their family to be protected for any uncertain death in the future, right?
Yeah, that's perfect. So, in the last segment, we're going to be going to a question and answer session. I do have to do one last plug for us, our CEO Network, ourceonetwork.com. Sign on and find out more information about how to market your business, how to be part of these interviews, how to be part of our in-person networking. You know, as we have COVID-19 coming in, it's been put a strain on us as a company as well. And so it's pushed us to try this online platform and try these Zoom calls and advertise your company in different ways. So as we get back into the stream of things and normal life again, we will have our in-person networking. But if you do want to explore different marketing needs, video and social media, please contact us here at Our CEO Network on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And Senor, so question to answer from so the first question I got was from a text, David in Mesa. I want to get life insurance and I don't know what to ask for. What are some questions I can ask my agent or somebody as I explored life insurance?
Well, that's a great question. I believe that for people to ask questions, the top questions is always how much will it cost me, and again, to answer David's question is let us do the questions. Let us ask you do the financial analysis where is how much you need for how long and how much can you afford. There's gonna come up some questions through the interview, and definitely we can help you to answer those questions. But I so far, if major questions as for people is like, okay, so if it's a term policy, am I gonna get something in return? The answer is yes or no, depending on the product that you have. If it's a whole life insurance, am I going to get something from my life insurance? Of course, yes, because sooner or later you are going to die. And as long as you pay your policy, you are going to get not you, but your family will get the benefits from the life insurance. But if you get terminal, chronic, or critical ill, you access to the living benefits. So it's very simple questions. And if you're talking to an expert who knows how to educate you, not to sell life insurance, but to how to educate you, I believe that his questions are going to be all answered.
Oh, awesome. And then let's see, Monica from Phoenix. How much money do I need to start as a life insurance agent, and what school do I need to go to?
Okay, that's a great question. So there's two ways to do this business. You can either choose to be an independent agent on your own, where yes, you're going to have to pay for your education, which is going to cost you around $200 to $300 just to get yourself prepared to test. The Department of Insurance is going to charge you between $120 to $140 to get your license. Of course, fingerprints and all that stuff, it's required. And so this is Monica. I paid for my education. I got my license. Where do I start? Well, that's a great question because Monica has no experience. Monica probably doesn't know anything about insurance. And if you go out there and knock on any broker's door, they might ask you for experience. They might ask you for a whole bunch of questions that Monica, as a brand new agent, don't have the answers to that. But through the agency with PHP, just like I said, people helping people, the studying, it doesn't cost you $200. It goes down to $19. Okay,
Oh, wow.
because we have so many agents applying for license through the agency that you're going to have a great discount through your for your study material. We are going to help you to be trained. We are going to help you to get not only appointed with just one company, but 20 plus companies, So when you go out there, you're always going to be companion with a proven mentor that is going to help you to understand, and for the people you know, for them to ask whatever questions they might have, and their questions are going to be answered, because that's what we do. We're bringing that entrepreneurship mindset to anyone who wants to be in this industry.
And that's I think that's a really a good explanation of what I guess people are coming into the industry, because I think people have hopes and I think they see it like on the websites, and when they see some of the PHP videos that it's not easy. It's not easy to start. So I guess to go off of that, what a new agent who does have their license, what could they do to kind of start their business or start their entrepreneurial journey so they can create what you have, the form of wealth, and where you're at? What I just from your own experience, where do people start?
Okay, so if you so to understand your question, if you're already licensed, that was your question?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a saying here in the United States that says it's hard to teach old dogs new tricks, right? So when you're already a licensed agent, you always want to get the best out of the best. Unfortunately, people don't sometimes licensed agents or agents, they don't understand that the mentality of being an entrepreneur is not about you become just a sales agent. Because sooner or later, you're going to run out of leads, you're going to run out of prospects, you cannot take vacations, you cannot do anything, because everything falls into whatever you do. Through the agency with PHP, the benefit about us is that you can have as many leads, and you can actually become a broker very fast. Myself and my wife, it only took 76 days for us to become brokers. Right now, we have around 100 licensed agents under our agency that they're helping people every day, and that helps us, and to create an opportunity for them as well, because we keep sharing the opportunity of our agency, and with the residual income and the overrides that you get from helping your people and making them make good money, well, you can be financial free within 3 or 5 years of putting good job and good work ethics.
Yeah, and the reason I bring that up, and I want to mention that, is because I do have I was just shared a picture. I was sent a picture, and hopefully you help me explain what this is and what this means. But this picture here, let's see, PHP top 25 cash flow, Victor and Tanya Zaldo. And who is this lovely young lady do we have in the picture, and what is this award?
Well, it's there's like I mentioned to you, Robert. There's 15,000 licensed agents in PHP, and we were able to get that recognition for 2019 as being in the top 25 cash flow people making money. Of course, that beautiful lady, that's my beautiful wife, Tanya Zaldo, and she's since she got into our business, PHP is all about family. It's a power couples. So when we do the first interview with any new agent that comes to our journey, it's like, are you married? Yes. No. Okay. We want to meet your spouse, because we want that supported spouse. When you apply for a job, they care less about you. Who are you married to? They don't care about your background. They just want you to get paid by the hour, and for you to do your job. With the agency, with ourselves, and PHP is all about family. It's all about power couples, making certain that you run a smooth and powerful operation, because that's what people want to feel. They want to feel that they belong to something. They belong to a family, and that's what we represent. So yes, cash flow, it's a big thing. People don't even have idea how in the financial services, the amount of money that you can make.
Yeah, so I guess the big question for me is what comes first, the cash flow or the beautiful wife?
Well, the beautiful wife came first.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just wanted to share that recognition there. Again, when people are exploring different career options, they do want to get to a level of success, or at least feel successful. And so I just wanted to make sure I shared that, because I was reminded to share that. And congratulations on being on top 25. And so as we're nearing the end of our show today, Violet, do we have any more questions? If you could post those. is there anything that you would like to share, whether it's something personal, whether it's something with PHP, something you've learned along the way for our entrepreneurs? Our show, our CEO Network, is driven to the success of our entrepreneurs, people who are in small business, people who want to succeed in their entrepreneurial endeavor. Is there any advice or anything you can share that you've learned along the way that would help somebody as they're starting?
In the industry, or like
Whatever. Industry, life. I mean,
well,
something you learned with your mom.
I guess that like I said, we need to understand one of the things that I love, and especially I learned in this industry, and with the PHP agency as well, is to understand. I'm a very fan of Robert Kiyosaki talking about
Yeah.
entrepreneurship. Rich Dad Poor Dad, but also the four quadrants of money. One of the things we teach people, and we can say goodbye with this, is that you have to take away that employee mentality. And people think that when you leave the employee mentality and you become a self-employee, you're actually free, and that's a big lie. You're not free. You're actually worst, because now everything depends on whatever you need to do. With our agency, we teach people to jump that self-employed and jump from an employee mentality to the business owner, where you can actually start learning how to process business and how to be able to become and empower your family and yourself. And funny fact is, like, our team is called EFG, and it's Empowering Financial Group, because I'm looking at our CEO network, and on the bottom says empowering. That's what we do. We empower people, and we empower families to make certain they become financial free.
And I will say, coming to in everybody defines success in different terms, and in my life, I feel very successful from where I've been to where I'm going, and it's not always necessarily about money, even though I've done very well for myself. It's sharing the ability and being able to share that with somebody, to have that feeling, because you can feel successful with $1, or you can feel successful with $1 million. It just depends on perspective. So, with that said, so you get the last word before I wrap things up.
Well, just want to thank you, Robert. I want to thank Gabby, of course, for having us, having me here. When I say having us, is because my wife was the actual secret partner in this.
The orchestrator, we call it.
Yeah, the orchestrator. And I really encourage and I want to thank everyone who got connected into this call. And to understand, guys, life insurance is not a joke. You got to protect yourself. You never know when it's going to strike. And if we have the opportunity down the road to have another session where I can share some stories about what has happened throughout my life in 16 years in the industry, it will make you think again why it's important. And number two, when you're struggling about finances, making money, always be open. When a friend comes to you and say, "Hey, Robert, I have an opportunity for you to pay off your loan, to pay off your house, to pay off whatever you want, or to just give extra income to your family," that's where PHP is here to help you. People helping people.
Awesome. And again, thank you, Mr. Zaldo, for showing up today and participating in our interview. If you want to contact Victor, his number is in the link, and I think I actually tagged you so they can kind of click on your name and then follow you and ask questions offline or outside of this video. So again, I appreciate you, sir. Thank you for coming aboard our CEO Network. We'll see you next week, 1 o'clock. Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you, Robert. Bye-bye.